How you doing? Good, Tommy.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to our show.
We're having the Gibson truck outside, and a bunch of the guys from Nashville are here to explain Gibson guitars and how they're built and why they make some of the finest American instruments. Tom Murphy, who ages these guitars here, is going to be here explaining how he makes guitars look like they're 60 years old. And at the end of the night, we're going to give away a Gibson 1958 historic custom shop guitar.
The value of the guitar is about $4,500, so it's worth it to be here, right? Yeah.
I love this one. Just the color, because it's rare, you know. He won't be getting any more.
It's one of my favorites.
It really does feel good.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell it's got a little bit of age on it too. You know, it does.
Play a crap out of it.
Pretty cured.
Got some old parts on it.
Yeah. What he does is just like so fantastic. You know, basically making these brand new guitars look like guitars that were from the 50s. He's one of probably a half a dozen guys on the planet that does it the right way. I've had guys who are aficionados who walk in who are vintage collectors, and from 3 or 4 feet away will run towards the guitar and go, "Oh my God, when did you get this? It's a '59 Les Paul," and think it's a $400,000 or $500,000 instrument.
I walk into vintage world, going to look at new shiny guitars, and I see the aged ones on the wall. I'm thinking, I'm not going to have any interest in that. And I look at it, I'm like, I gotta have one of these. This one's unbelievable, you know?
It's fun to see all these 50-year-old guys like Tom Murphy. He's like he's like Britney Spears of the guitar world.
I've been involved, hell, in my thousands of shiny reissue guitars. I mean, the flame just really extravagant, wonderful. All the stuff we love. And one nick on that guitar will devalue it, you know? But then you can purposely age it and it almost enhances it. But what it does is it gives it a relaxed feeling. And nobody really gets it to hang on the wall, really, you know?
You can see the way he's playing. It's got a nice little air edge to it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just doing nice hand motions with the camera. So pretend like you're interested.
What originally got you into the guitar? Like what bands? How did it start for you?
I remember hearing Rock Around the Clock when I was like 5 years old. And I was fascinated by that, the energy of it, obviously. And then the whole Elvis thing and Hound Dog. And I had a ukulele when I was 10, and then like 12 or 13 a cheap acoustic. And I just thought, well, doesn't everybody realize how important this music is? I mean, it's like really a big deal. And then you see the Beatles.
And it was the Beatles
You're going,
that really...
They're speaking to me.
Yep.
And they were actually speaking to an entire generation
Sure.
and a culture. Then, on the heels of that, you see Eric Clapton, Cream, Hendrix. But in '69, moving to Houston with some friends, and I saw ZZ Top, you know, as they were pretty much just starting, and there was Pearly Gates, you know, 3 or 4 feet right in front of me, and Marshall Amps. I lived in Southern California for a while in the early '70s, and I walked down the street one day, and a guy was opening a vintage store, and I walked in. He was actually starting the store with all old guitars. Wow. And then he said, open that case, and it was a brown case. Opened up the Sunburst Les Paul, and he wanted $2,400 for it, which could have been $24 million to me at the time. I appreciate the whole vintage thing totally. I'm really involved in it. But I'm lucky that I can utilize some of the knowledge, experience, and passion for it and put it on new guitars. Who would have ever dreamed that? So when that, like I said at Gibson, when they said, well, just make it happen, I was blown away.
I was going to ask you about that, like in the Gibson custom shop. When exactly, like how did that sort of evolve?
Well, the people that I expressed what I thought they ought to do said, okay, do it. Because I had the list of things I wanted done.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you asking me? Oh, okay. In the early beginnings, when it was very, very small, and it was myself and Edwin and a few other people, I personally, over the years, with guitars I had purchased, and I won't say what company, but somebody else had a guitar out that was a reissue of an old guitar. How come it feels so sharp on the edges? I mean, no old guitar would feel like that. I don't even think it'd feel like that when it was new. I found myself like scraping that edge on a guitar that wasn't bound. I'm scraping finish off to get that feel, why don't they just do it before they finish it and it'll be all round? Well, here I am in the Gibson factory where I can do something about it. Go between each fret, round that edge. So for a while, our guitars exclusively had a rounder, softer feel on the fingerboard. Not a real heavy science here, you know. I mean, it's nothing. But obviously, it comes from me being a player. I just knew what I wanted it to feel like.
Oh, where are we now?
In the Gibson truck, all the way from Nashville. Travels all over the country, stops at only the finest places.
At the Gibson truck there, they have a couple of lefties for you. Yep, Tommy wants to talk to you. He's going to talk you into buying one.
You said you were coming? Yeah. Have you following through? Yeah, man. We're shaking. Not much. That's life as a rock star. It's all right. No, I just checked out the SG. Good stuff.
Pretty cool. You a guitar player?
No, I play the drums.
It's the guitarist right here. He's sick.
So you should be in heaven right now.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
This hasn't been played. This hasn't been plugged in a long time
Well, I'll
either.
tell
I
you
haven't
what,
played it
you
in
know
a real long
what?
time, but you see,
Yeah, that's really.
and it's happened a couple of
Now,
times.
I'll say this, that curve on there is probably one of the biggest culprits. Try to just heat it up, warm it up like a hairdryer or something.
Oh, really?
Have your strings off and conform it to that top and just hold it and see if it won't take the shape a little bit. That's worth a try, okay?
More ideas than I ever could have thought of.
When you're thinking about the frets on a guitar, they're generally inconsistent. They're just pieces of metal hammered into a piece of wood.
Right.
How can they all be exactly the same height? What could ever control that better than the eye of a human? Well, a laser and a diamond cutter.
Yes.
It's really awesome.
What's your favorite guitars?
Gibson.
What's your favorite guitars?
Gibson. 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 Gibson are the best guitars.